it hurts in a different way when you realize you're not mad at them anymore. You're just done. Like, legit done. You're not angry, you don't have resentment, you're just done with this person. Because I realized that some endings aren't always loud. You don't always need to fight for it anymore in order to call it quits or that you're no longer working out. Like, some of the endings aren't always deserving of a closure. You're just done because you have over explained yourself 1,000 times. They clearly know where you're coming from. They clearly have crossed so many lines and they don't respect it at all. And that's when you know that they don't deserve the last word. They deserve to hear the footsteps walking away from them. There are some nights when you realize that you no longer want to fight for it anymore, not because this is what you want, but this is what you deserve. And sometimes you really need to close the doors, close your windows, put borders in your windows, and not let anyone get in or explain or tell you their side because you've given them so many chances and so many of those chances were wasted. And that's when you know that not all people deserve another chance because your energy and your focus, your attention are a luxury, and you have to be really wise sometimes in giving your chances because that's when other people cross the lines and cross your boundaries. Before, we always feel like we should be mad, like we should be angry in order to be heard. But times have changed because not every time that you are mad or that you're angry that you are respected. You don't need to pour your heart out to a person who clearly does not have the same depth as you are. Because number one, they won't listen, or they will listen, but they won't perceive how deep you are and where you're coming from. And that is the fact. People can listen, but people cannot dive how deep you can get in terms of how you feel. And the surprising thing is, when you're no longer mad, when you're no longer angry, that's when the realization came in that you need to walk away. You need to cut this person off. This relationship is not for you. This friendship is not for you. This work is not for you. When silence came in, that's when the loudest truth and realization came in. Being done with someone isn't always loud. It's a soft kind of surrender when you realize that you're no longer waiting for an apology. You're just done. That's it. You're just finally decided that, this relationship is not for you. And that could be the worst and the best feeling at the same time because you finally realize that you matter to yourself. And no apology from them can ever change your mind. The real ending isn't about rage. It's about the real quiet acceptance that you deserve to walk away. It's the quiet acceptance that you deserve more. If you ever find yourself waiting for that closure again, for that apology from them, hear me out. They won't change. They will never ever change. They might change for a week, but that's because they want to get over with the argument, with the hard and difficult conversation that you two had. But deep down, you know to yourself that they don't have the same maturity and depth that you have. A harsh reality to accept. But once you accept that, even silently, you stop deceiving yourself from believing that this relationship with this person can be saved. You know what? Be mad when you can. Be mad when you need to. Pour your heart out, and because that's when you know that you have become sincere. That's when you know how deep you can get. It's just a matter whether or not this person is right for you and can go as deep as you are. So when you finally poured your heart out, that's when you know, and that's when you realize that you have been fighting to be seen by someone who can't even look at you. And when you reach to the acceptance stage, there is a silence. And that silence will make you realize that the acceptance freed you more than anger did. The anger kept you attached, but the acceptance set you free. Sometimes we think that fighting could save the relationship. Having an argument could save the relationship, but no amount of effort coming from us can save the relationship what their inconsistency kept breaking. And no amount of emotional intelligence and no amount of words and speeches coming from you could ever save this person, could ever save the potential that was not there. Okay? Potential is just a scam, is an illusion coming from them. You see the potential, but when they don't act on it, move on, girl.